Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool square and brick project, just like this. It's brick and square in between, and then there's like a color that's like laced inside. What's funny is I'm actually going to use yellow on the inside too, but for my red color, I'm going to be using white. So what you want to do is you want to take two strands of the same color. Well, you don't have to use the same color, I just choose to just because I like the way they look. And you want one to be about 6 inches longer than the other, and fold them in half. And if you can see how the one's longer, so they're obviously going to be longer. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start the square stitch. Using the same color is going to be a little difficult, so you're just going to start your square stitch like you normally would. Okay, so you're just going to start your square stitch like you normally would. And I have a blanket over me because I'm wearing a dress and I'm sitting cross-legged on my bed. So just start your square stitch. You want to be extremely careful that this works. If you're still kind of new to Boondoggle and you're trying to try out a new project, this might be a little tricky for you just to get down. But you should probably have started square a few times, because otherwise you're going to have a couple problems. I just highly recommend learning to start square first. And I always recommend learning square first. So, as you can see, I have started it. And I'm only going to do one stitch. I know normally I would tell you to do 2 stitches to lock it in place, but not today. I'm not going to do that. Then what you want to do is you want to figure out which strands are the longest. So just go to the end of it, find one that's long, and then I know this is the long one, so you want to make sure these ones are facing out. Then, if you have watched my rocket ship video, you're basically just going to do the rocket stitch thing right here. And you want to take this yellow strand, which is the same length as the shorter white strand that I'm using. And you're going to fold that one in half. If I could find the ends of it, it would probably be better. So I'm just going to fold this one in half. And since I know that this is the long strand, I'm not going to put it in the long strand. I want to put it in between. So just kind of lay it over the top, just like this. And then put your finger over it. And you want to start working on the project. And I think this is changing the color of my hands. OMG. Yes, it is. Okay, great. It's bleeding. Not my hands. So you're just going to work the project like you would. And again, I highly recommend that you know how to start square. And you should probably maybe look into doing the rocket ship first. If you think the rocket ship might be a little too much for you, this might be a good alternative to start. Okay, so here's your tail on this side. So you're just going to go over the tail, under the loop, over the yellow tail, under the white loop. And just the same thing on this side. Over the white tail, under the loop, over the yellow tail, under the loop. So now, when you pull your finger out, you will have, like, see how it's kind of floating in the middle there? Yeah. That's not what you, well, I mean, that's what you want, but you're going to pull it all tight, nice and tight, and now you will see that the yellow is in between the white right there, okay? Now, you need to just continue with your brick stitch. And if you don't know how to do brick, then I suggest you learn. I do have a video showing how to do that, and I'm going to just tilt this down a little bit so that it looks like I'm actually wearing a shirt. Excuse me. So yeah, you're just going to continue with your brick stitch, and you're going to do 10 stitches. So I'm going to work on 10 stitches, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. The reason that I'm wearing a dress today is because it is my younger neighbor's first communion today. And I'm not a religious person at all. My dad's Jewish and my mom's Catholic, so we celebrate their holidays, but we don't, like, religiously celebrate. We just, like, you know, do the presents and stuff, I guess. Whatever. So we're not really, like, real religious people at all. We're, I guess you could fake religion. I don't know. We call ourselves cashews, my sisters and I, because we're Catholic Jews. Whatever. Okay. So just keep working on this project, though. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to tell you too much about my life. Some people will get mad. But they had really good cheesecake there. Ugh, I love cheesecake. It is so delicious. But I got a picture taken with the priest, and I was so excited. And if you want, okay, now you're going to need to know how to like, count stitches. So I guess I will show you. Not I guess. I'm gonna show you, actually. Okay, so if you look at this project, you can see how there's the white on top, and then there's the white and the yellow in the middle. What I like to do is I like to count the yellow ones just because they're all next to each other, and it's like easier for me to know what ones I'm counting. And you're gonna just count every loop. So let me just turn this a little bit so that it's easier for me to count them as I'm showing you. This bottom yellow one here, you can see that with my thumb. That, no? Yes, okay. That is the first stitch. Then this one to the, like, right of it is the second stitch. The one to the left, third, 4, 5. So basically what you're going to do is you're just going to count every, like, little loop that you can see, and you have 5. I recommend getting about 10 stitches into this before we move on to the next step. So I'm just going to do 5 more, and then I will show you the next step. So, let's see. I slept in for school the other day. My mom's out of town. My mom was out of town, so it was just me and my dad, and he works late at night, so he sleeps in the morning. And I was up at 6:30 a.m. Normally I get up about 6:15, and then I get ready for school, and I leave for school about 7 o'clock in the morning so that I can get a parking spot. So my mom called me at 6:30 in the morning to see if I was awake, and I said, yes, I'm up. So then she said, okay. So then I, like, laid back down in bed, and I was waiting for my best friend to call me, because I had texted her the night before while she was asleep, and I had said, call me when you wake up. So I was thinking that when she'd wake up, she'd go check her phone like everyone else does, and then she would call me. She never did. So I fell back asleep, and she called me at 8:50. School for me starts at 7:50. So I was thinking it was 7:50, and I knew that morning I had phys ed. So, hold on. I knew that morning I had phys ed, so I was like, okay, you know, not a big deal. I'll just run in late, and then I'll just make up some story about why I was late. No, it was 8:50, so I completely slept through phys ed and part of second period. I made it to school in 10 minutes, and I had to park really far away, and I had to sign in, and it was just such a mess. But it's really not that big a deal. My parents just kind of laughed at me when I told them. They were like, you would sleep in. Oh, well. Okay. So now I've done 10 stitches that have yellow in it. So you can see right there that there are 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to form it into the square portion of this project. So what you want to do is you kind of want to just let these yellow ones just hang loose, basically at the bottom here. Hold on. You know, you could just let them hang loose here. And you're going to do your square stitch with the other strands that you have. So basically I'm just going to use all the white ones. So I'm going to make these 2 loops, even though there's the yellow in between them. Just don't worry about that. And you're going to take the white, and you're going to go over a tail and under a loop. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Over the tail and under this loop. Okay? But you don't want to pull it tight yet. What you're going to do is you want to, like, open up the square stitch. Like, see how the square stitch is closed here? You want to kind of, like, reach your fingers through and pull out those yellow strands up into the center of the square stitch. So, I'm thinking you'll be able to see this. Yeah. Okay. So now, if you see it, see how, like, they're coming out of the middle of the white? That is just what you want to happen. You want them to be coming out of the center of the white there. Okay? So that's, you know, I think you can handle that. If not, please let me know, because that is very important. And if you didn't understand that, I need to know, because that is the entire purpose of this video, basically. So then you're just going to do another stitch. And as you're pulling this one tight, you're going to see that the yellow one's not really coming out nicely. That's okay. Just pull it as tight as you can, and then you're going to go on to do a second stitch of this white square around the yellow boondoggle strands. That's what you need to remember, is that it has to go around the yellow strands. Okay? So, again, just, you know, pull this all tight. And if you could see, that second stitch just kind of locked everything in place, and then you just want to pull the yellow ones through the center of the project as tightly as you can. Okay, so now you can see that one completed like little row, excuse me, of everything is all there. And you want to do 3 more stitches of this square around that yellow there. Yeah, so I slipped in, and my entire biology class knew about it. What else is new? Not a big deal, really. I'm really not that concerned about it. Everyone else was just, like, kind of giggling and whatever. I don't know. So, anyways, after you've done the 5 stitches of the square, you're going to do another stitch, but do not pull this one tight. Okay? I repeat, do not pull it tight, because that will mess up everything. Well, it won't mess up everything because you can just have it go this way, but whatever. Okay, so now if you see how I have these 2 yellow ones in the middle here, you want to pull those strands out, but you want one on either side. So if you see how this one's on this side of the project, but this one's still in the center, you want to get this one on that other side. Okay, so now neither of them are under the project, so if you see it's tightened, there's nothing in there. And what you're going to do is you're now going to form the project over this. So you're just going to loosen it up, and you want to find the tail that's closest to you, and you want to form a loop over this white, and you're going to go under the middle one, okay? But the next thing you want to do is you want to just tighten it over to the side so that you have one little section here. Alright? And then this one, the other one is going to go in between the 2 that are like kind of next to each other that go the same way, because that doesn't really work too well. Alright. So once you get that, you're going to start to pull it tight. And you don't want to pull too tight just yet, but fairly tight. It's going to kind of like curve onto itself. That's completely normal. Don't worry about it. Just do your second stitch of brick, and everything should be okay. So I'm just going to do a second stitch, and I will show you what that second stitch looks like, and then you will know what I'm talking about. Okay. So then you're going to just keep going doing that project. You're going to do 10 bricks, 5 squares, 10 bricks, 5 squares, and it's going to be the same process, and then you can end it just like you normally end the project, and you'll be all set. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video was helpful and informative. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message me or comment below.